Hi everybody, and welcome back to Nellie and Ruth Designs. Today we're going to do a little flip through of the Somerset Studio magazine. Um, I purchased this yesterday and I had some time to kill. Just a little update on my arm and my wrist. I did go see my doctor once again. This is the third visit. I actually saw my doc. And he told me that he was concerned that there might be a blood clot in here. He wasn't happy at all after he heard what went on. And he said he would definitely do a thorough investigation. But he sent me over to our hospital and I had an ultrasound done because he, like I said, he wanted to make sure there was no blood clots. So they did an ultrasound from my neck down to my thumb, and that is all good. And he told me that it's just going to have to heal. If it is a nerve that was punctured, heat isn't going to help. Icing it is not going to help. Just rest. He says, make sure you don't lift anything heavy with your right arm. And he said, in 3 months, if you still have that sensation, he says, come back and we'll figure out what we're going to do next. But so far, so good. I feel that it is getting a little bit better. It's pretty stiff when I wake up in the morning, but I think it'll heal. So I just didn't want to take Dr. Google's advice, and I felt good after I left my physician's office. So when I left his office yesterday, I had an hour and a half to kill, and I didn't want to drive all the way back home because I have a 20-minute drive home, 25-minute drive. So by the time I left his office and the ultrasound was scheduled at the hospital, it was really silly to come home. So I went over to Joann Fabrics. It's really the only place now that has craft magazines in my area. And I picked up this Somerset Studio. I do really enjoy this magazine. I don't know if you've ever purchased one. In the US, it's $15.99. I know it's kind of on the expensive side, but I figured I wanted to look in here, and some of these I can cut up. I have other Somerset Studio magazines, and I can cut them up and use them to make tags and stamps and things like that. So if you've never purchased a Somerset Studio, I wanted to go and show you what are some of the things in it. And I know I spoke in my last video about Kim Collister. She has a whole spot in here. I'll show you what Kim created and put in here. And the other thing I wanted to show you too is when I purchase a magazine to cut up, I kind of look to see the images that can be used and might be really a good fit. So I have my little 4x6 photo plate here, and I do have a smaller one. I have some different size ones here. And then what I'll do is when I'm looking through the magazine, I will just go through. Here's more of I guess that's the same size. I will look and see what might be nice to cut up for tags, or I have a tall one here, which is a magnifying glass that Sofro Fabrics gave out at some time. So I can also use this kind of as a template and see what might be kind of cool. So one of the first things, and I'm not going to do this through the whole magazine, I just want to give you some ideas. So when I saw this, I thought, well, this would be a really cool image. So you could cut something out like this, or you could have it over here. I have paint brushes, and then you could collage on this side. So those are just, I mean, these are going to be a few little examples of what you can do when you buy a magazine and once you're done looking at it. This here would be fun to cut out, and you could use that in a collage. This over here. You have these images here, where if you have something smaller, you could cut that out, or just cut the square. You could take part of it. So there's a lot of fun things that you can do, and we'll work on that in another video. But I wanted to flip through this with you so you can kind of see what is in here. And there's so many beautiful things that you can make and really nice ideas. This is all about echo printing and echo dyeing using rust. So you can see here that they have created rusty elements like in this pin, the nail. And then they're using, paper and burlap and some other fun papers. And they give you a whole list in here if you wanted to do this project. They give you a whole list of supplies, buttons, cloth, soft dry, fabric rusted. They're asking for a gel medium matte, some gesso, metal bits that are rusted, a paintbrush. So they kind of do a step-by-step in how you can make these. I think these are really, really cool looking. And I just love all the earthiness to it and the browns. I don't know if I have the patience to do all of this where you're echo dyeing, and I don't know, it takes a lot of time, and maybe it doesn't. This one here is miniature matchbook journals, which I think are really cool. I'd love to make some of these. And I don't think they give a size. Okay, so for a size 12 tag, 8 inches by 4 inches. So, okay, so it looks like you cut a size 12 tag, 8 to 4, fold the bottom up 5/8 inches, crease, and staple the sides. For smaller tags, this can be closer to 1/3 inch. So they do give the dimensions. So I think this would be kind of fun to do at some point as well. And then you have all of these pretty examples here. And again, once you've taken your information from the magazine, you can rip and tear, use these on master boards for your own artwork, your own personal use. And you just get lovely ideas. I like this because there's so much red that is being used. Like here you have your red on red. Here's some beads and sequins. Here's some more. I like the red and the black. Then you get some paper, just like in Daphne's journals, Daphne's diary. You get some paper in these, which are really nice. So you have those to use. Here's bark art, which is really cool. And then I thought this was really pretty. These would make really pretty items to put on a door handle. And again, if you're not into, I think this is clay. I haven't really read a lot of these articles. But you could always take some other form and put that on there. But this is very pretty, the way they stitch the paper. They'll run one stitch here on the fabric, and then they just add it to the collage. So even if you don't want to make something like this, it gives you, some fresh ideas, or it just gets your mind moving as to what you could do. This is a very pretty tag. And that's fun too. That type of twine or fabric. And this is fun here. So just with these, I'm really inspired now to make some tags such as this, and maybe, using some buttons or old coins. I just think this would be kind of fun. And then these here, what are these? Again, I guess just journaling cards. And again, I haven't read a lot of these articles, but I'm looking at this. It almost looks like some piece of a crocheted bedspread or something. And it looks like they've just put some glue on it, or a special type of fabric adhesive, and they've made it very stiff on here. So again, it's just another idea to take bits and pieces of bedspreads or whatever that might be too flimsy, and then work with them, make them a little bit stronger for your cards. But these are all quite pretty. One of my favorite combos is blue and browns. And here they've incorporated some feathers. These are little work pages. And then these are fun, which gave me an idea. I have a lot of pieces I've cut out, probably about this size. I had a portrait book, and I have a lot of girls and women, and I've been wanting to do something with them. And I really like this idea of putting them on a black background like this, and then collaging around them. Here's some more from this artist. And then these are really cool too. Rust is a must. Again, it's all about rusting your papers, your fabrics, rusting your paper clips. And this is a fun little, where you take your bead and you feed it through, and you just keep twining your metal there. You can see them here. So those are quite fun. So 99% of the time when I buy a magazine like this, I don't make what they make in here. It just spurs my creative juices, and then I think of other things that I have. Here's some more paper taken from these images here. It just spurs my creative juices, and then I do a twist on it and I make it my own. And then this one here, Art on a Roll. I'm not quite sure, but I was looking at this, and this looks like your Rolodex. But it looks like chipboard. So I don't know if they've cut this out with an X-Acto knife, but that looks like chipboard, or if that's the board and then they just glued that on there. But I'm not quite sure. Art on a Roll. These are artist trading cards. Rolodex cards, yada, yada, yada. Chipboard shapes. Collage various images onto chipboard shapes. Hand dye tags with ink or dyes. Let dry. Fold in half. Stamp each one with a design and then add machine stitching. Use a brad to attach a tab to each clipboard shape. So these must all be ATC cards behind here. I'm not quite sure what, because to me it looks like a box, and it looks like the box, there's things setting in it. So I'm not quite sure what this is right here. Got to study that a little bit. And then here is Kim Collister's creation. So she has Creative Observations. And Kim looks like these are just tags that she has created. Yeah, these are all tags, which are actually very cool. I love her work. She's taken old. So this tag here, you know, when I say it spurs my creativity, I have a book that I bought at our local book sale for $1. And it has all black and white images of England, you know, Big Ben and all different shapes and sizes. And I thought, gosh, I could start ripping and tearing in that book and create some tags like this. So again, it spurs, you know, it reminds me of what I have that I haven't used yet. And then this is quite pretty. I have an awful lot of religious figures, and I thought these would be really pretty to collage with. Do something like that. And this looks like it's just an old doily where it's maybe some Tim Holtz stain and dye on there. And then these tags here, which I think are cool, the way that she's stitched on here, just a little abstract. A little abstract here and here, instead of always going around the outside. These are different. This isn't really my style, but these would be fun too if I wanted to make a tall tag for one of my books. What did I do? I could take this and then I could put this. This is where I would kind of take a look and maybe put it there like that. And I would see what would be the best way to incorporate this in a tall tag. You know, maybe even if I did it this way, where I had some of it coming here, then I could collage down here, maybe put a vintage paper doll on here. So pages like this especially are good to cut up. And here's some more fun work pages. These are submitted by people. This was from a gal in Texas. She submitted reader submission. Here's some novelty badges. This kind of interested me. I don't really know. I haven't read this yet, so I'm not quite sure what, you know, how they did all this, but it looks like they took some sort of ribbon and then trim and made these medals and badges. So that might be kind of interesting to do sometime. This is cool. This kind of reminds me of like a Mardi Gras style. And these are all of the things that she is putting on there. So this is going to be a nice read. Here's an art challenge right here. Working small and steady towards finding your style. So like I think it's like a little accordion. You can see here it's like a little accordion file. And again, you know, if you want to do a little bit more collaging, or you make a master board, you can cut these out, rip and tear, put them on your master board. Here we have watercolor. So this gal, Jacqueline Newbold, she is talking about enhancing her paintings and sketching with ink. Adding marks, lines, and words to finish a piece is both relaxing and rewarding. So I'll have to read this. I'm not sure if she sketches. I'm imagining she sketches first and then she does the watercolor, or maybe not. Maybe she does all the watercoloring first and then she goes back and she sketches. Okay, so here she goes. I prefer creating my painting first and adding ink lines at the last stage of my process. There are no rules for how, when, or where to add ink to art. So she'll do this whole watercolor, then she adds her ink. So I just find it very interesting where she'll make these abstract watercolor images and then she makes her trees. Interesting. I still think you have to know you have to be good at drawing. I am not good at drawing. I'm not even good at painting a scene such as this. I just can't wrap my head around that. This is very pretty. This would be pretty on the back of a collage. And then we have two more pieces of paper here. that you can use in your artwork. Here's another reader submission. And this is fun. This would be a lot of fun to do something like this in your junk journal. Make a cute little tag like that. And then these I thought would be, I mean, these are kind of like the round artist trading cards that I showed you in my last video. But again, I mean, this is, looks like she's used tulle on here, and then she's cut, well, maybe she hasn't used tulle. It looks like all of these little images here were on tulle, embroidered, and then she just cut around and made little squares or rectangle pieces, and then I don't know if she stitched them on. It looks like she stitched them on right here and up along the side, then put them on the rounds. So those are really cute. And she has them on the little pillow boxes. So that would be a fun project to do at some point. And then she made this cute little corrugated cardboard box, which is just darling, to hold her her little art in there. And that would be very easy to make. Well, that's cute. More reader submissions. I thought these were very pretty cards as well. Again, the echo printing, which I don't really know anything about. I'd have to read up on that. Echo printed papers. But these are lovely, the way that they blend in. This one here. And these look like more work pages they give you to play on. Another reader submission. These are cute tags. I think that's adorable. And I like the way that it almost looks like they've done a die cut here and just attached it on. So there's a lot of different ideas that come to light. Band-aids and bandanas and buckaroos. This is fun. And I'm actually kind of glad that this is in, because I'm going to, Michelle over at Tape and Twine, I purchased some digital prints from her, and they're women, they're cowgirls. And I just thought that this would be really fun to incorporate some of these images in my cowgirl tags. So I'll be ripping and tearing these pages out here. The cowboy boots. There's a good old cowgirl. So I just think these pages will be fun to incorporate with Michelle's work with her cowgirls. And we have some more paper that can be used. More reader submission tags. These are pretty tags. This gal makes these mini albums. She uses paper packing tape to assemble old-fashioned fabrics and interesting materials. I thought this was cute. I think that is really cute. The Wrangler pocket, jean pocket. I used something like that in Liz's journal. The blue jean material. And I love these. I definitely want to try and make some of these. I have the old-fashioned flash tags. And I just thought these were really cute. This, I think, with Brave Wings She Flies and this stamp, I kind of want to think this comes from, oh my goodness, I can't think of the name now. Red lead art, red lead stamps. It doesn't say, but this looks like a red lead. Red lead stamps, or I think it's red lead stamps. Here's more. So all the reader submissions are in their back, and some of these are just fun. These images of the boys. And then in the back, which is nice. So if you see a detail that you like, it will tell you, you know, what page it's on. It's in the details. And I think in this book too, they might tell you where you can buy some of this stuff. I don't know if it's this one or another one. So that's the end of the book. I think it's a great book. It's a great tool for learning and to spur your imagination and get your juices flowing again. Yeah, and that's it. That's what I wanted to share with you today. So, and it's always nice to see these magazines. I know $16 is quite a bit to spend on an art book, but the way I look at it is if there's things in here that I can use, I'm going to get it. And just again, for some new and fresh ideas, maybe some things obviously I haven't thought of, but I can put a little twist on because I may not want to do everything that they've done. And this was a great idea for me, you know, how to use my other women. So it was well worth it for me. So that's it, my friends. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a thumbs up. I'd love to hear your comments. I'd like to know what books really inspire you, what magazines inspire you when you go to the craft store and you're looking for something new. I know Daphne's Diary is huge. There's some other, I don't know if it's this studio, but it's the one from the UK that has all of these magazines. They have many more, and I know they make a card one, and I really enjoy the card making one. But I'd love to hear what your thought is on some of these magazines, and if you cut them up and how you use them. So again, if you like this video, I'd love to have you give me a thumbs up, and I will see you down the road. All right, everybody, have a great day. Bye-bye.